What's up guys, it's me, the Pokeball here, coming back to you with another video, and as you can see I'm not wearing my signature sunglasses. I wear those because I have a problem seeing the camera, well that doesn't really make any sense. I wear them because I look at the screen when I'm supposed to be looking at the camera, and when I look at the screen instead of the camera, it makes me look like this. It makes me look like I'm staring at nothing while I'm talking to you guys. So that's why I wear the sunglasses, so it looks like I'm looking at you guys, but I'm staring at the screen. Because it's just more simpler for me to stare at the screen instead of staring at the camera. So today, I'm making my own Pokémon starters, and I decided and I could post this on YouTube because that's what I'm planning on doing. If you want, I'm right for this video. I'm going to make starter Pokemon, and if you want to see them evolve, of this, of drop 10 likes. I'm not asking for a lot because I only have 3 subscribers on this channel by the time I'm making this video. First up, I decided to make a water elephant Pokemon. And at first, I was surprised that this wasn't a thing already. That's when I realized there's only 2 elephant Pokemon in the entire Pokemon franchise. That's why I picked Phanpy, I think that's his name, Phanpy, as inspiration for the water type starter. So I know this doesn't look great because I put a lot less work into this as I put into the other starters. I was just really tired at the time. And trust me, it gets a lot better from this. And I'm not using the regular Pokemon style because that style keeps a lot of shading and eating and stuff. And I'm also using a drawing app that I'll link down below in the description. And yeah, this is not sponsored, by the way. Imagine. And well, I picked to make it like a water type Pokemon, that looks like a mouse and an elephant. Instead of a trunk, it'd be more like a hose. That's why it has that red and gold and yellow nozzle thing. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I had to check and something downstairs. So, yeah, once again, I am gonna apologize for how underworked it looks, and I can't really do the Pokemon art style because it's a lot of shading, a lot of light value, and I barely understand how it's supposed to work. Yeah, I know how it's supposed to work. Like, I understand light value and the basic principles of art and the more advanced principles of art, and that's why I decided to make this video. And I may make videos like this in the future. And they don't all have to be Pokemon related. I decided to mess around with the colors a little bit because it's supposed to be blue. I know one thing about water types is they're supposed to be blue with at least 1 or 2 secondary colors. For me, the first secondary color was the brown, so it demonstrates dirt. It demonstrates how this is supposed to be a ground type. Well, it's not going to be a ground type. It's not supposed to be a ground type. It's supposed to be a rock type since we already have a water ground type. But it doesn't get the rock type until it evolves. Which again, if you want to see this evolve, drop 10 likes down below in the description. I don't know why I just said description. Drop 10 likes down below. And this Pokemon, I kind of had high hopes for this Pokemon, but I was really tired when I made this Pokemon, and so it really looks underworked. And all of these Pokemon have a different place where the light is. So if their lighting looks off from each other, that's because they're in that's it because they're in different places. 'Cause I was trying to do something special with the tail, but I couldn't figure out what to do with it. it and yeah, yeah, yeah. So I wanted to make this like a garden hose Pokemon. So it starts off as a garden hose Pokemon, and it gets stronger as it evolves, like a Hydro Pump Pokemon. Even though we already have that with Blastoise, these, but yeah, I probably should have made it the first secondary color gray, because first secondary color gray, that would have made it clear that this is a rock type, not a ground type. Right? And so I'm just gonna say the brown is just mud. It's just mud that just stays there instead of removing it. Phantos, the elephant hose Pokemon. This Pokemon is used to hydrate gardens and is very docile. This Pokemon drinks twice as much water a day to ensure its health and hydration. Alright, as we can see, I tried to take inspiration from a baby gazelle and wait, that's Blitzel. Yeah, when I think of the Blitzel, I think of Zebstrika, so I forget its name a lot. And I was trying to make this look like a gazelle, but I feel like I ended up making it look more like a goat, and it makes a lot more like Go-Goat. Well, Skidoo, because it doesn't look like Go-Goat at all. Well, it looks a little bit like Go-Goat. Oh, yeah, it seriously looks like a Skidoo, but with just different color scheme. Yeah, because for some reason, every time you make Pokemon like this, their feet have to be like look like their feet have to look like rice. And no offense. It's just that if you look up starters and they're like, and it's like a cow or a goat, or I feel like there's a family name for animals like that, and I just can't remember it. Well, animals like goats and cows and stuff. Uh, I forgot it. Whatever it is. Every time they make Pokemon like this, their feet have to be a rice-looking thing. They have to be short. They have to be stubby. They have to look like rice, or they have to look like how I'm drawing it right now. You it 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 started off to look like a dog to me, and and it really looks like a dog right now how I'm drawing it, and yeah. So again, if you want to see this evolve, I know I'm being redundant by saying this but you have to like and subscribe. I try to give these things more emotion, and because they really look really depressed. That's why I add the eyebrow things that aren't really eyebrows. They're just like a part of the face. These I decided to put a bush on it so it would grow as it evolved. So as it evolved, and decided to have leaves sticking out of it because that looks cool. It makes it look more like a bush. And I went for a cartoony design with these characters rather than the actual Pokemon style, because the cartoony design is my style, and that's not Pokemon style. You can see I play around with the color scheme a little bit to see what works better, and I decided to have the lines for the bush just be a lighter shade of green. And I forgot to put light placement, so it's just one shade and then a shade of dark. I feel like the only thing I didn't get wrong was the last Pokemon. Actually, I think I got one thing wrong with that, but I'll get to that later. You know, but this was really a pain because I was trying not to cover up the overall line structure. Because I know you can just put it on a different on it. You can just color it on a different layer. When you do that, when you try to fill something in, it just goes all over the place, and that's not something and that wasn't something I needed. Another annoying thing the bush leaves. The bush leaves I had to draw around those two. When the thing just fills in like that, that meant I was trying to fill it, use the autofill button, and as you can see it didn't work too well. Oh, so yeah, I'm trying to find more things to talk about. So it's not just dead silence while I'm talking while I'm drawing that while I'm drawing this failed gazelle thing. thing. Ake, the bush goat Pokemon. They use their green coloring and their bush as camouflage. They also stay in herds until they fully evolve. Gake that don't stay in herds either die really easily or they end up with trainers. Right, the fire starter. In Pokemon, I'm normally drawn towards the fire starter because that's what my big brother did. And he was normally drawn towards the fire starter because he used to say like fire beats everything. And according to Pokemon, that's not really true, though. But normally, fire type Pokemon get the best evolutions. Well, I wouldn't say normally. They most of the time get the best evolutions. Like, and we don't not bringing in mind Embor, alright, and yeah. So this is the one Pokemon that I actually feel like I did a good job with. If, except for the tail part. I wanted to look up how to use the tail part, but then I realized that wouldn't be my art style. That would be just me copying someone else. And I know I'm already copying somebody else by doing Pokemon, but I'm in like using my own art style. No. The teeth, I decided since it's Pokemon not to have such menacing teeth, and since it's a young Pokemon, it shouldn't have teeth that sharp and that menacing. And this is actually based off like snakes that you can find in your backyard in certain states. It's meaning they're not super dangerous depending on what state you live in, and they're not very aggressive depending on what state you live in. And I was going to go with two wraps instead of one. I mean like you know how the Pokemon's curled up. I wanted to do two of those, but this Pokemon's supposed to be really short, and if they were two wraps, it would just look incredibly long, and that's not how first starter Pokemon are supposed to look. I know we already had a snake starter, but according to the Pokemon, starter fire starter Pokemon are based off of the Chinese New Year wheel. Like there's the year of the rat, there's the year of the tiger, there's the year of the pig. We've had all of those except for the horse, the snake, and I believe the goat and the goat. Oh, I think I already said snake. So this Pokemon or something close to it will most likely be in the game in the near future. It could possibly be in the game in the next game in Gen 9. Right. Right. So yeah, I decided to also base this off of oil, so it has oil in its body, and that's the result of its black coloring. And it's flame pale. No, so instead of it just being it's just something about fire. I forget about starter fire Pokemon why they have fire coming out of their body, except for the most recent ones like it says why they have fire coming out of their belly, except for Incineroar. Alright. Okay. So, and the final part, it was this flame. It was a bit tricky. I didn't know whether to make it darker because it's the flame. The flame was still an object, and it was kind of and it would be and it would be darkening up, and it would darken up the it would darken up the of the thing, and or to make it a source of light because it's fire. It's supposed to be light. The second ever source of light was fire in the human world. Well, the second part was the sun, but we already had sun, and no thank you, Solgaleo. And yeah, the rest was just shading, light and shadow. Oh, I decided to get rid of that thing where it curves on its neck, and make the neck longer, the belly piece longer, and then shade in the eyes. Well, I mean lighten the eyes, because I'm used to saying shading instead of lightning. It's the coil, the oil Pokemon. The oil in its body is the result of its black coloring. It is hunted for its expensive oil in its body. It can ignite the oil by making its breath very hot, causing fire-like attacks. It is very hostile and very hard to train for young trainers. Alright there. So, if you want, I'm saying this for the third time today. If you want more drawing videos, leave a like down below, subscribe, and I don't have anything other than ba-boom!